Wait. All right. For everybody watching right now, we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it started. So, Aaron, you ready to strike that pose?
I'm ready to strike the pose.
Let's get it.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeanette Ramos and I'm the founder and CEO of It Takes a Village Housing. It Takes a Village Housing is a nonprofit organization geared towards helping mothers get the services that they need to raise their children. It's going to provide not only drug treatment services for our mothers, but mentors for our children, home economics for our mothers. This is going to be a one-stop shop that's going to provide for our families. Drugs and alcohol seem to be a big part of our society, and how we eradicate that will be based upon what we do for this population. We're always looking for donations. Help us out with those donations. Anything that you can give would be a great help. We're always looking for beds, we're looking for toiletries, we're looking for money, and anything that you can provide us would be of great help. So if you're willing to provide this population with a second chance at life, check out my website at ittakesavillage1.org, or you can email me at ittakesavillagemom@gmail.com. Here's to It Takes a Village Housing, and I look forward to meeting with each and every one of you.
Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your host, with your main man, Dano. And I'm so excited to be able to bring you guys this fire content that you can only find here on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform, and you can't find this anywhere else. So make sure that you're liking this. Make sure that you're sharing this for somebody who may need to hear it or wants to throw in their positive energy into the Weekly Dose of Dano platform, because you already know you guys pour as much into me as I pour into you guys, and this is a beautiful community that we have going on here with my positivity posse. And man, I'm just so excited to bring you guys every week. Like I already told you guys, there's nowhere else that I would rather be in the world than right here with you guys. So let's get it for today. Let's get it. I'm so thankful. Thank you, Aaron, for being on the show today. We know the logistics of what happened with everything, but my guy Aaron is always pulling through for me and always pulling through for everybody on the E360 TV platform. If you guys didn't already know, I am a producer with the E360 television network. Thanks to Aaron, and man, all of this stuff that we've gone through together has been a lot, especially with the live production portion of the E360 network. And it has been absolutely amazing and a lot of learning and just meeting a bunch of different people and traveling all over the world. It has been absolutely amazing. So we got Aaron here for today, the president of the E360 network. Thank you so much for dropping that hashtag positivity posse, because that's how I know that you guys are rocking with me right now and that you're pouring into this, you're pouring into the platform just as much as we pour into each other. So thank you so much for dropping that for today. And yeah, we have the president of the E360 television network. So make sure you're typing in all your questions or your comments, because this is the guy that made it all possible for everybody on the network to have their content produced into the world, and with multiple different platforms, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, the E360 network, Facebook, YouTube, all these different, there's a lot more too, but I would spend half the channel half the episode just trying to name all the different ones that we stream to. So you already know, if you've been here before or if you have not been here before on the I guess it is E360, but on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform, there's two things that we always do before we bring the guests onto this show. And the two things that we do are the affirmations for the happiness. And you already know we got to do the on the street interviews. I actually went yesterday to go film the interviews, but at the last event that I did with E360, I met a photographer there, and this guy was absolutely amazing. He actually took a picture of Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos liked the picture so much that he actually decided to hang it up in one of his offices. So this guy's the real deal, and I handed him the camera. I said, yo, I have no idea what I'm doing, as far as like the technical settings to make sure that, this camera is doing the best that it can. So he was like, all right, let me just get the camera and I'll hook it up for you. So he gave me the movie magic that goes on behind the camera. So that's why, it was at that, when he messed with all the settings, when I went to go edit the videos that we took yesterday for the on the street segments, there was a lot of complications. And even with like the footage, he was saying that I was running out of space on the SD card. So it was a lot. So we have to go again next week to record. So it's going to be in 2-in-1 type of thing. So we got to get extra content for you guys. So for tonight, we're just going to play one of the ones that we featured on here before, one of the interviews. And we're going to make sure that everything goes right for today. Let me put my phone on this side. All right. So let's read the affirmations first. So I opened up to page 99, and this is what it says. It says, I protect my happiness. My happiness is sacred to me. To protect it from energetic interference, I call upon an impenetrable healing white light to encompass my energy field. May this light protect me while I amplify my joy from within. May I always have this blessing of light from now on. And this one speaks to me because I had a dream last night, actually, about opposing forces trying to mess up my energy field. So I think that was for me. So, if that resonates with you, I'm happy to help you guys out, and always make sure that you're focusing on your happiness. And actually the dream was about protecting my happiness and making sure that's first and foremost before anything else. So I hope you guys, it's not selfish either to make sure that everything in your life is going right to the best of your ability. So make sure that you're taking that with you. And always, one more key thing before we play the interview is always make sure that you're finding your happiness within yourself. Because when we look to outside things such as material possessions or other people or whatever the case it may be from the external, it's not going to hit the same as or be as effective as if it was coming from inside of ourselves. And we have to shift our perspectives in order to make sure that is 100% possible. So let's play the On the Street segment for this week. Let's go, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dano, television show host of Weekly Dose of Dano TV, and you already know what we're doing for today. We're going around the streets of Philly, asking everybody the questions that you need the answers to on this beautiful, sunny day. Let's get it. What's your name?
I'm Stasia.
Stasia, when you were growing up, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a lot of things. I wanted to be a physical therapist, a psychiatrist, a dance teacher, a swim coach, all those things.
Awesome. Well, is there any common theme that you see in all of them that you wanted to become all of these people?
I just wanted to help others be happy and be their fullest self.
Okay. And then what inspires you to help others become happy?
I just think we're all busy and that we are focused on things that we have to do, like school, and there's just so much out there that the little things add up to all the good things.
Sir, what's your name?
My name's Joe.
Joe, when you were growing up, what did you want to be when you became older?
I wanted to be a teacher my whole life, teacher and coach. That's what I spent a lot of the early time in my career to do. And then I wanted to teach in college, which I did. And I wanted to write books, which this time in my life, I have the opportunity to do that. So everything worked out. And I'm fortunate enough to have had the opportunity to do it.
Now,
and a wife that supports doing it too.
That's amazing.
That's important too.
Now, here's the golden question. Why did you want to become a teacher or a professor?
Make a difference in the lives of people, which the feedback that I got through the years, that continually motivated me to do that, to change the lives of people, get them to believe things that they normally didn't believe in, be an inspiration to them. And I've had enough feedback that kept me doing that for 55 years. I spent 55 years in the classroom.
So what's your name?
Anna Maria.
So Anna Maria, when you were growing up, what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a detective.
And why did you want to be a detective?
That just seemed like the coolest thing to me when I was a kid. Like my whole life, I just thought it would be so fun.
Besides it being cool, did you see like CSI, or did that inspire you, or any family
It's just
members?
the only thing that intrigued me as a kid.
Now, what's so intriguing about it?
Just like solving things, I guess, like always trying to figure something out.
Sir, what's your name?
Louis Delmar.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a geologist, a scientist.
Okay, and why did you want to be a geologist?
Since 10 years old, I started collecting rocks and minerals in New York and the Bronx, where I was raised. Due to the stress from living in the city, I took a yoga class. Something happened inside. So eventually, I became a yoga teacher.
Did you feel that that was your true calling, to become a yoga teacher?
Yep.
And what are some of the benefits, if there's somebody watching right now, what are some of the benefits that you can advocate for yoga?
We all live in our minds. When you do something that causes a relaxation response to occur in the nervous system, you shift things physically and mentally. So you get out of the chatter, that quiets down, and you begin to broaden something innate in all of us, another perspective inside. Yoga and integrative techniques tend to bring that innate, natural perspective out.
Sir, what's your name?
My name is Chance.
Chance? Oh, I like that name. Great name. So Chance, when you grow up, what do you want to become?
I'd like to be a herpetologist.
Wow, a herpetologist. Chance, I have no idea what that is. You're going to have to explain that. What's a herpetologist?
A person who studies reptiles.
Oh, wow. And what makes you want to study reptiles?
Well, I like reptiles. Everybody's scared of reptiles, and I just thought it would be unique.
Chance, how old are you?
8 years old.
8 years old. Look at that. I didn't even know herpetologist was a word. So, Chance, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts today. So everybody, that was the segment that we went to go record. Here we go. He's 8 and he had 8 viewers. So look at that. That's the and here you go. The number for today was number 99. So double 8s and double 9s. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you know you're in that alignment right now. So I see Aaron back there. He's antsy to get on. I'm really excited about Aaron coming on today. Thank you again for coming on, because this is a big moment in the E360 TV history. So without further ado, and Aaron, when you come on, I'm going to ask you that same question, but that's the only freebie that you're going to get as far as questions. What did you want to be when you grow up? And if you're watching that for the first time as a viewer, just let me know what you think as well. What did you want to be when you wanted to grow up? So without further ado, Aaron, man, stop running the network. It's time to get on the show.
About time. How you doing, man?
Absolutely amazing. How you doing today?
I'm good. I was so entertained being backstage, watching your, especially on the street bit. I loved it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, we got to do things in order to make sure that the E360 is going on up and up, and to get it to as many people as possible, because I know that's your goal.
Yeah, I just love that question though. What do you want to be when you grew up? Because it's, when you go back, like, right, that you go back in time and what did you want to be when you grew up? And then how the heck did you end up where you're at? It's just and as long as you're happy, it's all good. Right. But at the same time, it's it's interesting where life takes us. Right.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, Aaron? I got to ask you: did you always want to be the president of a television network when you grew up?
This technology did not exist when I was a kid. So, in fact, the internet did not exist when I was a kid. Hence the gray hair. So no, I didn't.
Wow. I mean, I can't even imagine. I don't want to give away anybody's age or anything, but I was around when there was dial-up. I was born with that, but that was just on the very front end of everything. I wasn't. I mean, I was around for the very tail end of beepers, and anything before that is out of my realm.
Right.
Oh, Aaron, we got a burn. I think I might know who this is, but they decided to remain anonymous. Aaron is older than the internet. Just saying.
That's all right. That's all right. Look, the tools are the tools, right? That are out there. They just change a bit. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Older than the internet. Yes.
It's all good.
But not the father of the internet. That makes stupid rich if that happened. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you so much for being on here today. This has been, I know this is going to be a very, very killer episode. So we got to talk about, since you didn't want to be a president of a television network when you grew up, where did you get the idea or the vision to start E360 TV?
I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 11, 12 years now. And, but I usually worked in like that project management, product development, that kind of realm. And I don't know, I was getting a little washed up on that whole thing. It was getting a little old. And so I worked on one project and it was with a lot of media people. People came from Howard Stern. They came from all these different places. You know who Howard Stern is, right?
Yes, I do know that one.
Okay, good. Okay, you know that one. Okay. And so they turned me on to the idea of media, and but I didn't know really where to find the mark and stuff of how to. I mean, media's been around for a long time, and of course, how do you find your niche in that broad universe? And there's a lot of people involved, and a lot of egos involved, and all those things. So, so when we set out for it, it was really just like. It was kind of a broad scope. We were like, look, we just let's just help people get a bigger audience and let's just see what happens. Now that was our business plan. It was a little bit thicker than that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it was like, okay, let's look at different revenue sources and how we can build this thing. And then, as you came on board when it was started with E360 Live, and we started doing all this. And that was, honestly, I think that was really the beginning of E360 because, we fumbled around with different models for the longest time. And then when we did this has just been the best chapter ever. I mean, it's just constantly changing, and it's just every day is new. Every day is new. So it just keeps on building and growing and like, and with you're involved with the events so much. And so that opened up a whole new chapter of being able to go to cool places and just be exposed to this, like, all this space stuff, I like space.
Yeah.
I know where Orion's belt is, and I know the moon and, some of the stars, what have you. But you get to sit in like a fly on the wall in these things. And so you get to learn all this kind of different stuff that you would never be exposed to in a normal lifetime.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's definitely grateful for it. And then all the people that we've met, Dominique, you know, Lauren. I mean, the list goes on and on of just cool people that are involved in it. And I think, it goes back to that business is business, but it's more about the relationships that you meet and make in the process. That's important. That's what you're going to remember when you're on your deathbed. And so I think that this experience has just, I mean, no matter what happens, I get friends for life, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So that's
yeah, and I can tell you E360 has changed my life for the same reasons that you said. Like I've always wanted to travel the world and, everything be provided for by the network. And it's like just meeting all these different people. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but with E360, you guys gave me the vehicle in order to make that happen. And, we have a few upcoming events as well. And now E360 TV has a partnership with the NFLPA, and we're going to get into that stuff later on, but I kind of want to talk about
I got some exciting updates on that. So
yeah, we get to share it here.
When we get to it, I'll follow your format.
Oh yeah, we're gonna break it here on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform. But can you talk about the mindset of starting? Because this isn't the first business that you started. You have started another business previously. Can you talk about having faith in yourself? Let's say there's somebody that's watching this right now and they want to start their own business, or they want to close. I know for me, I'm closing a chapter in my life that's been open for 7 years. And it's kind of like, you don't know what's going to come from the decision that you made, but it's going to be good. Yeah. Can you talk about that, having the faith in yourself when starting these businesses?
Well, you go through these like mental checklists of all these things that you need to make sure, because the first thing is that, okay, is this business viable? We all come up with these ideas and write them down on napkins and stuff like that. And then you have to, sit back for a few days and go, well, is this something that's really needed in the world? Is it overdone? Is it a saturated market? So you look at it very objectionably and to see if it's doable, and can you make money at it? All those things, and then after you pass, that's, I guess this is a solo show now. But no, after you pass that,
we're all good. I'm still here. I'm just giving you the stage.
Oh, I got you. You threw me for a loop. So the thing is, then once you have gone through that mental checklist and you've kind of crunched your numbers and stuff, then that's where you have to take that leap of faith. But you don't just take a leap, you have to like charge through the door, because if you go half ASS through it, it's guaranteed it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. You have to go full fledged and you have to go full bore, and you can't rely on anyone else. And you just have to grab it by the horns and go for it. And so it is a mindset of, okay, I feel prepared. I feel confident. I know what's going to work, what's not going to work. I know what's the tasks and the, like I got to do this, then this, then this, then this, then this. And I think that's when on the back end, you've seen me at work and I get off, like, I'll get like, we got to do this now,
Yeah.
And everyone's like, but it's because I know this has to go, then this has to go, then this has to go. And that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have that confidence that it has to be done, and now you just have to just go for it, and you got to go for it full charge.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the part where people start to doubt themselves, or they have this pre-programming, whether it's from parents or, friends or social media, that's like, well, maybe I'm not comfortable taking this step, because they start to focus on the things that can go wrong instead of one of the things that can go right. And I think that's a big piece for it, is we need to flip that perspective to make sure everything goes right.
Well, stuff is always going to go wrong. Guaranteed. It's going to take longer than you think. It's going to cost more than you think. The revenue coming in is going to be less than you think. if you just go in with the pure acceptance, not as in, oh, it's not going to go right. It's more so that, hey, that's just the way it is. And so if you just go in with that mindset that, you know what, things are not going to go the way they're supposed, but I figured out this much so far, I'm going to figure out the rest. And so I guess that's where the, I don't know, stupid confidence, a little bit of blind optimism, all come into play.
Yeah, 100%. So you got Lou saying that's a fact. I hope you guys got your notebooks right now because Aaron's giving you guys the golden nuggets.
Hey, you know what? True entrepreneurship
From experience.
You lay it on the line. You know, you really do. You have to lay it on the line, and you got to work every day, and you got to work way more than you would with a regular job. That's for sure. You know.
Yeah.
So.
You know, the thing I can definitely relate to is when you're talking about everything goes wrong. I mean, as we know from the live event portion of everything, we can buy. Let me guys tell you something. There's 3 things in life that are guaranteed. What do they say? Death, taxes, and something with the piece of equipment that we have always going wrong with all of these events. Those are my 3. We can have the most brand new equipment and we can buy a brand new cable out of the box and just something just does not work. And with that mindset, you have to figure out things on the fly. Now, can you talk about how you translate that same decision-making and problem-solving into your everyday life?
I think you just look at things differently. I mean, you truly, there is a mind flip that you have where you see every problem as an opportunity. Mm-hmm. That so when it comes across like a big challenge or something going wrong or something like that, well, in our case, you know, for events, it's scramble. Let's just get this thing going. Yeah. Whoever, you know, doesn't matter. Let's just make it work or whatever. But then once you're done with that situation, then you look back and you go, after you dry off the sweat a little bit, and then you go, okay, so what just happened there? And so you reverse engineer and you want to, make sure it doesn't happen again. For other situations, though, in your like everyday life, I think that the acceptance that things will go wrong and being okay with that, then now you say, okay, this isn't going right. No problem. Let's just figure out the solution, because there's always a solution. I mean, and there are times when you are completely backed in a corner, but it's sure amazing what you can do when you are truly backed in a corner. That's the name of my book, by the way. I just coined that. Okay. Backed in a corner, because because you really bring out that inner drive and that inner animal where you're like, you know what? I'm not accepting this. I'm going to, humans win. Okay. And then that's where you just fight until you get it. And then you go, and then check and then move on.
Yeah. And, I've seen firsthand you just saying, all right, you're not going to accept when a piece of equipment goes wrong or when something doesn't really go according to plan. You always find a way to just make it work. And I kind of want to talk about one of the something that you brought up earlier, and this is just for the general audience as well. You were talking about saturated markets, and I wanted to talk about that. When it comes to E360, a lot of people say that there's other networks and XYZ, but who cares about them, because E360 TV is the best. For somebody watching right now that does not know about E360 TV, what separates our network from somebody else that has a network across the country?
I think that the biggest thing that is unique about E360, so we put out over 200 hours of unique first-time viewed content constantly. So this isn't rehashed content that's just being spread around and those kind of things. I mean, we have fresh content all the time. And the thing is too, is that it's not scripted. It is straight out of the soul and the heart of the host. And everyone's got a vested interest that's on the network. And so everyone takes it serious. It's not just a bunch of DIY videos from YouTube or something. And I'm not putting down YouTube. And I have used YouTube on my vehicles, all these projects around the house. Let me tell you. But I would never go there for a show. Personally, that's not. I want to see something that's well created, that people are putting a lot of effort into. I mean, for God's sakes, look at your entire setup here. I mean, the background and this overlay you got, and it's just these cool openers. By the way, that one opener with the little TVs on it, and one says E360 and the other one say Roku and all that stuff or whatever. Dude, I gotta know where you got that. That is so cool. But yeah, so I think that's the major difference, and that is why that's why the NFLPA, that's why we partnered with them, is because they saw that. Well, I don't want to get into too much because I know you're going to talk about it, but they saw the opportunity that there were former players that wanted to get their own messaging out. They don't want to be scripted. So they don't want to be under the umbrella of someone saying, oh, don't talk about that and talk about this and make sure to plug this and those kind of things. But they want to be able to have their own editorial control of their content. And so that's what differentiates E360 TV, is the content that's out there is real.
Straight up. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I want to touch on the few things that you just brought up right there, and then we will, since you brought it up, we'll talk about the NFLPA. But first, with everything that I create, right? A lot of people don't really get to see the hours that go in behind it, the sleepless nights, all the energy that I pour into it. So for you to bring up that small, well, to me or to anybody, that might seem like a small detail with all of those icons in those TVs. That is the attention of detail that we do bring, or at least, I bring to this network, because I see the vision and I respect this network just as much as I respect my own things. So when it comes to those attention to detail, number one, thank you for actually noticing that. But a lot of people only see the finished product. So I think that's very important. And I agree with you 100%. When I see all, other shows on the network as well, it's that attention to detail that you can appreciate. Number two is I want to talk about, there was a guest that I had on, and he played in the NBA. He's like the longest tenured player for the Sacramento Kings. And when we were talking about our content, I was asking him questions, not to say that his answers were really perfect. And I'm not sure if that's because he still has some ties with the NBA, if he wants to do, different things as far as commentating or an analyst or anything. But I felt like his answers weren't, as, like you said, unscripted, right? So just the fact that you have NFL players that will come on and have this unscripted content, I've experienced what it's like to have that firsthand. And I don't want to say that it was that exactly, but he was kind of walking on eggshells. But I think that's a very important piece that we need to have is E360. So let's talk about this. I'm going to play the commercial for everybody watching. And I want you to talk about a little bit about the commercial when it plays, and some different ideas or some new news that you want to break on here on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform. So let's play this, and I want you to talk about it.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about that commercial.
So that's our next big event that we're doing. We're going to be live streaming. It's a pay-per-view event. Tickets are $3.60. So it's more like, hey, we just the person that's putting that together, who was in the last slide there, she was the one on the left. Her name is Anita Gale. So she puts on this event, and so that event's coming up, and really what it's geared for is just for educators, so teachers and such, getting them in the loop of all the changes that are happening in the space industries, because there's a lot of kids that are interested in getting involved in space now. There's a lot of hype. It's cool now, all these things. But for some teachers, it's like, well, they don't even have enough information to be able to, scoot them along, like, oh yeah, you should do it. And they're like, well, what should I study? And they're like, math, I guess. I don't know. So that event is 2 days of just gearing up those teachers and such, and educators, counselors, those, being able to give them the ammo to be able then to help out these kids to kind of scoot them in the right direction, if that is their dream, to get involved in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I went to the last space event that we did with the National Space Society and their International Space Development Conference, I had no idea about anything about space. I mean, besides the most popular ones like GPS came from space, and phones came from space, and all of this. But through all of these events that we do with E360 TV, whether they're live, virtual, or even the content that we create, it helps people to see the world in a different light from a new perspective.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's you're talking about what's great about E360 is that I think the thing is that all these, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and you get the talking heads on news channels and morning shows and stuff like that. But isn't it nice to get that from the perspective of real people? And if you watch it on E360, you actually are hearing from actual people. Mm-hmm. And then the world doesn't seem so bad, mm-hmm. because, it's almost like the horror in the world is glamorized, mm-hmm. because I guess it sells ad space. Mm-hmm. So we don't sell ads on E360. So yeah.
Boom, mic drop. There you go. Take that. Now, can you talk about, I know you said there was let's talk about the NFLPA thing. You said there was some great news that you had in regards to that. And how did that even come about?
So that was a work with Schaefer Suggs. He has a show on E360 called Faith Family Focus with his daughter, Faith Suggs. Mm-hmm. He is a former NFL player himself. And then he does this show with his daughter. She was a Duke University basketball player, and now she's like one of those. She's perfect at everything. I swear to God, but she's just a super nice girl. You'll meet her actually. She's gonna be down there in Miami, and so he was always thought that this would be a good thing for them, and so he did the intros. He knew all the people in there, and then we just kind of went through their process of interviewing with them, talking about what we do and if it would be a benefit. And it kind of went back and forth many times till finally they were like, yeah, everything, because they have to be very protective of the players. They don't want to roll into a program that's not legit, mm-hmm. Doesn't do what it say it's supposed to do. So they went through this. We went through their process, and then we got approved, and we were good to go. So now we have been slowly now rolling this out to these players, mm-hmm. and it has to go through them. They're very protective. We can't get their email addresses or anything. And we just had our first show come on board today.
Nice.
Yeah. So our first show is, we're talking to several players, but the first one is coming on. His name is Quentin Dial, and he's doing a show called Dial in the Outdoors. And he is a player. He played for 49ers, played for the Packers. And his whole show is about him being an outdoors person because he wants to help erase that stigma that Black men don't do outdoor, like hunting and fishing and all that stuff, because it's more a white dude kind of thing. So anyway, so he's next 2 months here, he's got his GoPros and all this stuff. He's going to be going out and hunting and fishing and all this stuff, recording it all and setting it up. So he's going to integrate it into his shows and stuff like that. It should be a really cool program. I'm really excited about what he puts together because he's a very detail-oriented person.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this comes about. But we expect there to be more and more. We do have there is a convention for the NFL former players and current players down in Miami, Florida, coming up here in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You'll be our representative along with Face Suggs at that. And that'll have a chance to actually mingle, talk with the players. Schaefer will also be there, but he's going as an NFL player, of course.
Yeah.
But he's also going to be so this will have a chance to actually, rub some elbows, talk to some players and stuff and feel it out. But so far it's been very comforting.
Yeah.
Because when we do talk to the first presentation of what it is, they're all like, really? And then, you get to the dollar amounts and they're like, what? That doesn't sound right. Like they think it's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars. So
yeah,
it's a great thing. And we opened up a new channel just for this. It's called the Adrenaline Channel. And it's all the personalities of sports. So that's going to be opening up and expanding.
Now, what's amazing about just the content, I'm just going to break it down, just not make it so niche to the players, even though I just asked you about that. But it's just amazing to hear. Like, I know we have a skateboard show. We have, Divine Encounters. We have my show. And then we're going to have a show when it comes to all the outdoor and adrenaline stuff. I just think it's so amazing how you can find so many different types of content on one platform. And I just want to play one quick video because it is Pride Month and I want to support all my Pride. I'm an ally to the cause, so let me just play this quick video, and then I want to switch gears. Instead of it being, more so about the E360, I want to talk about Aaron Heimes. So I'm going to play this video. It's only a few seconds, but here we go. In my support of Happy Pride Month to everybody watching right now. There it is. So
there it is. And it is Pride Month.
So Aaron Heimes, I need you to, when we were at it was the last event specifically about the ISDC International Space Development Conference. We were chilling on the balcony, just looking at the view, looking at the people walking by underneath. And you told me about a very interesting perspective of the way and how you view life. And you were saying that, we are just so we're just a speck of dust in the space of the universe, and we have such a small time frame here on this planet. How does that how did you come to, and you really tie that in because you say that it doesn't matter what anybody else says or it doesn't matter what anybody else does because we're only here for a finite amount of time. So it's just just live your life. Do you still, where did you come up with that idea and why does that resonate so much with you?
I came up with that actually going through grad school, and it was more about the environment at that time, about, that we're doing all these bad things to the environment, as we all know. But at some point, Mother Nature will just force her way back. She'll kill us all. But that's okay, because the thing is that the environment, Mother Earth, will continue. She'll clean up all of our messes, take a few thousand years, but we'll persist, and then there'll be in the next Homo blah, 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 whatever's after Homo sapiens, Mm-hmm. And so it started with that, and then it expanded though. And I've always thought about it. I always had these moments when I was growing up as a kid, mm-hmm. and I would just almost get out of my own body, and I would look around and I'd be like, it's quite amazing I'm here. Like, what did it take for me, insignificant little Aaron, to be sitting right here on this planet that just happens to sustain life? And then I get to live in the United States of America, which, is pretty doggone nice. We have a lot of things going for us. And then it really just kind of hit me where, you know, people are always like looking for, well, what's my answer? What should I be doing? You know, but to me, the amount of things that had to go right for you to be here, that day one you were born, that was boom, that's everything right there.
Mhm.
Everything from there is, I'm not saying downhill, but it's all equal plane.
Yeah.
Because from there, there's so many things that had to go right for us to be here as a species and for you to be here as a person.
Mhm.
That is the monumental moment. And from there, it's not about proving then to others and stuff, because look, when you die, 2 generations after you're dead, you're never going to be remembered unless you have like a museum named after you, or, you know, like you were super rich or something like that. Other than that, people forget about you. The whole point of that is that it takes the pressure off. That when you realize that you don't have to be the next Superman, you don't have to do this. What you have to do is you have to love and accept the love of your sphere. That's what you can impact. That's what you can touch, and that's what you have the most impact.
Mhm.
So that's kind of my perspective on life.
Mhm.
You know, and it's not that I'm dwindling it. I'm not thinking it bad. I don't think that you should go and rob banks or do jerky things.
Yeah.
You know, we still have a fulfillment to our fellow person,
Mhm.
and to not be a jerk. So I think it's just a matter of just taking it a different perspective. Now, some people say, oh, it sounds like a Debbie Downer. No. And if you go all the way to the end, though, of that thought process is where it becomes that aha moment where you go, huh, yeah, it is pretty cool. I'm here and I'm going to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Because this is not going to happen again. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some people believe in reincarnation. I do believe that there is another thing, another level. I'm not sure if it's God. I'm not sure what it is. Who knows who has it right? Maybe it's the Mormons. Maybe it's who knows whether we got that one right. But the point being is that while you're on this earth, is that you have to take advantage of the gift that you're actually here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of people say that that's the ultimate lottery. Just like you said, the odds of being here are astronomical. They're inconceivable. So if you're here right now, why not make the most out of everything? And why not always put your best foot forward? And hey, you can try it just because, you know, other people, like you said, 2 generations before, just because they don't have their name remembered. I think you can take what you think about, and, you know, this is my perspective, but that same process of saying, hey, well, since these people got forgotten, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to change this world for the better. So people can learn from my story that, number one, I'm speaking for me specifically, but number one, you're not a product of your environment. So if you grew up in this, you know, for me, I grew up in the hood. You know what I mean? Camden, New Jersey, one of the top places, like hardest places to grow up in. You don't have to become that, and you can help other people in your journey as well. And not everybody's out to get you, and you know all the things that are related with that. But you can make a name for yourself. And actually, the other day I went out with my uncle to go to a graveyard and a cemetery, and I believe it was his father that we went to go visit the site of. And I never met the guy before. I didn't even know he existed, kind of like you said. And we're going out there and we're checking out the headstone. There was actually, you know, so we're going out there and there's hundreds of people, thousands of people that are buried there. So when I go there, I'm like, wow, there's all these people that play into what you said of how who are these people and what was their life experience. And that, I know that's for me, that's what I don't want to become. I just don't want to be forgotten just because it, you know, with that inspirational piece and that motivational story where, hey, well, if Dano did it, or if Abraham Lincoln were to do it, or Gandhi, if all these other people are capable of achieving these high things, there's no difference between them and you. I mean, they both had 2 legs, they both had 2 arms, a head, like, you know, anatomically, everything's the same. But that's why I believe that mindset is so important. That's the only separating me. That's the only thing separating me from you to them, to the successes and the failures that all of these people had. So I when I was listening to your kind of like your philosophy on life, I was like, wow, that makes so much sense too. And I actually had one more conversation with Oracle yesterday, and we were talking, and she had a conversation with somebody that said, God is not going to come and save you. And she said she had to sit with that a little bit. And what she got from that is that no, and she used this fire quote. It was, the teacher doesn't talk during the test, right? So when she said that, I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. How when you're in your hardest times going through everything, he's giving you the tool set, or the higher beings are giving you the tool set to make sure that you have what you need going forward to conquer everything, that you're going to be experiencing further on in life. So Aaron, what has been the hardest thing for you to really overcome with going through the E360 TV portion of this portion of your life, this chapter?
It's the it's not just E360. I think, again, I can speak for a lot of entrepreneurs, is the persistence they have to have.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just don't want to do it. There's just like certain days, and you're just like, oh God, I just got to collect myself. I just got to collect my brain. I want to spend some time with the wife, or my dogs, whatever. So that, I think that's it. Again, that's an internal thing. It's not so much the technical aspects. It's not so much all the different projects and all this and that that's always going on. It's more sometimes just a personal thing that you don't feel like doing it. And it's not that, it's not that you don't want to do it. It's just that you're kind of run down at the time. So I don't know. It's just that, but that's just, that's just being human, right? I mean,
yeah,
you can't be 100% every single day. That would be weird. Or you're on drugs, something like that. But that's going to come to a point where you're going to fall off a cliff anyway. So, but yeah.
I agree. And the book that I read, The Four Agreements, always talks about the fourth agreement is always do your best. And they say specifically in the book that exactly what you said, not every day is going to be 100% for you, but on the days where you're at 40%, as long as you're giving that 40% to, your endeavors and your projects, whatever you got going on, that is still a successful day. So when I heard about that, that was pretty life-changing.
Well, it's like even the days you don't feel like it, you still take care of your business. You still do what you have to do. And but maybe that day you're not going to start the new project. You're going to say, you know what? I know I'm going to have a lot more energy. I'm not going to be a lot more enthusiastic tomorrow. So I'll just hold off. I'll reserve the energy, spend some time in the yard, what have you, just recharge the old batteries. And then sure enough, it always works out. So
it always, especially when you operate from a place of that you're going to get it done and you're doing it, like you said, don't be a jerk about it. It will always work out. Now, Aaron, there's two questions. Well, there's one question that we always ask wrapping up the show. But before we get to that question, I want to ask you, what do you see for the future of E360 TV?
Expansion. So we're looking at, we're looking at a few different angles for expansion. I know we're going to be, we're bringing on more shows. We just, another piece of cool news was that we've been bringing on other networks now onto E360 TV. So we're actually starting to become a network with networks on it. So the first one was Thriving Women Network. They have 5 shows under their belt. They add another 5 shows here shortly. So you have that. And then now we just brought on the Natural TV channel, and they have like 8 shows so far. They're going to be up to about 40 probably by the end of the year. And so I think what's coming up next in that we can just do more expansion. I want to do more, get more hosts and stuff. We've dialed in a lot of our marketing, and so that's a good thing. Of course, we can get a better return on things, and we can expand more. So, and then we do have some things that are more private that I can't really talk about too much. but and I think I've talked to you those in confidence.
Yeah.
About some of these other things that we're doing, which is going to be much bigger.
Yeah.
But this is, and that's going to lead to other stuff. But my heart, this is where I belong. This is like, I love this spot. I wish, I do wish that I could have more time just to chit chat. And I wish, just, me, I'm a gabber, man. I like to talk, I love to just shoot this stuff and just chit chat about stuff that's not work related, because work,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's E360, man. We're just going to keep expanding. That's
what I'm talking about. And, I can tell you, Aaron, he ain't lying. Me and Aaron have stayed up till 4:00 in the morning the night we're supposed to leave at 8, because our flight is at 8, and we stood up till like 4.
I didn't stay up till 4:00.
Hey,
sure.
All right, maybe you left at 3 and I stayed up.
Yeah, I would say I'm a rester, man. I like my rest. But
well, I don't know.
But that was fun, though. We've had some fun times, man. That was good
so,
times.
You aren't lying, man. And I can tell just with the conversations that you have about E360 TV and just helping other people out and giving them a chance to shine as well. That's what you're really all about. And I've experienced it firsthand, even when we were at the Power of We Symposium. We were up there talking at the break, and you ended up helping the kid that wanted to be behind the camera. You said, you know what, we'll take you under our wing, and we'll help you out with everything too.
Yeah. You remind me. I got to get back to that guy. Look, I got to get back to that guy. But I think because you don't know what's going to come out the back end. So you have to give everything an opportunity. Some kid at the Power of We, great programming, by the way. Oh, you were a host. Yeah, you were MC, man.
Yeah, I was MC. Yeah, and E360 covered that too.
That was a great event. One of our best. And I mean, you just don't know what's going to come out. You got to give everyone an opportunity, because who the heck? What do we know?
You don't.
The more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Take that one, everybody. Write that down too. So, Aaron, we literally only have 1 more minute, and we always wrap up the show with the same question.
Okay.
If there's somebody that's watching this right now in their deepest, darkest point in their life, what advice would you give them to get out of it?
Well, realize they're not alone. That everyone goes through hard times and stuff like that. Be patient with yourself. Myself, I've been depressive periods or whatever, and there's no replacement for time. So you just kind of give yourself just this time to heal, and then when it's time, then emerge out of that shell. But don't rush it, don't fake it, but it's okay. It's okay.
That's what I'm talking about. So if you're watching this right now, take that advice. I hope it helped you out. I hope it served. I hope this entire episode served anybody that's watching right now. We're at the end of the program. Aaron, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this has been absolutely amazing. Come back next week, guys, to experience more of this life-changing content. You're only going to find this here on the Weekly Dose of Dano platform. Make sure you share it, you like it, do whatever you got to do, just spread the word. I hope you guys have a great, fantastic, superb weekend. Make sure when you go out there, you're operating to the best of your ability, that you're always focusing on the positives, and be wary of other people that might try to take away of your happiness. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Peace.